Let's be honest for a second. I want you to visualize your evening last night. You're on the couch, maybe the TV is on in the background, but you aren't watching it. You're looking at your phone. You open Instagram or TikTok or YouTube, and what is the very first thing you see? It's a 20-year-old kid. He's standing in front of a neon green Lamborghini that he almost certainly rented by the hour. He's pointing at the sky, screaming that you, yes, you, can make $10,000 a month working 15 minutes a day from your phone. He throws around the buzzwords. You know the ones. Passive income, financial freedom, laptop lifestyle, and the holy grail of them all, the side hustle. It sounds amazing, doesn't it? It triggers that dopamine hit. It sounds like the escape hatch we've all been looking for. It feels like the answer to the boss you hate and the bills that keep piling up. But here is the hard, cold truth that those gurus conveniently forget to mention while they're trying to sell you a $900 course. Most side hustles are a trap. Yeah, I said it. Most of the opportunities being sold to you right now are a complete and total waste of your life, and we need to talk about why. The time tax nobody talks about. See, there is a hidden cost to this game that nobody puts on the sales page. It's the time tax. If you are sitting there clicking on surveys for 40 cents an hour, or transcribing audio files for pennies, or driving across town to deliver a burrito for a $3 tip, you aren't building a business. You are just trading your precious limited free time for pocket change. You are working below minimum wage and calling it entrepreneurship. We have to understand a fundamental rule of wealth. Not all dollars are created equal. A $20 bill that you earn passively while you're sleeping or playing with your kids is worth infinitely more than a $40 bill you earn while you're exhausted, grinding your teeth at midnight. Why? Because the passive $20 is scalable. The midnight $40 is just a second job that is slowly killing you. To truly succeed in this economy, and I mean to actually change your tax bracket, not just pay for a pizza on Friday night, you need to stop chasing every shiny object that scrolls past your face. You have to ignore the noise, because the secret to building real wealth isn't doing more side hustles, it's doing them the right way. The two rabbits paradox. So where do most people go wrong? It happens immediately. It's the scattergun approach. I see this all the time. It drives me crazy. Someone decides they want to make extra money, so on Monday, they launch a dropshipping store. On Tuesday, they decide they're going to be a freelance copywriter. By Wednesday, they're looking at charts trying to become a crypto day trader. And by Friday, they're burnt out, they're broke, and they're convinced the system is rigged. There is an old proverb that holds more truth today than ever before. If you chase two rabbits, you will catch neither. You cannot build three businesses at once. You just can't. You have to be ruthless with your focus. You need to pick one lane, just one, and you need to stay in that lane until you hit a wall or you hit a gold mine.
Skill stacks beat luck. And this brings me to a huge misconception. People think this side hustle is about finding the perfect idea, like a lottery ticket. They think if they just find the right trending product to sell, they'll be rich. Wrong. It is not about the idea. It is about the skills. Instead of asking, how can I make money fast? Ask yourself, what skill am I acquiring here? If you start a newsletter, you are learning copywriting. If you start a YouTube channel, you are learning video editing and storytelling. If you start an Etsy shop, you are learning SEO and customer service. These are what we call skill stacks. Even if your first side hustle fails, and let's be real, it might, the skills you learned don't disappear. They compound. They make you more dangerous, more effective, and more valuable for the next project. A side hustle isn't a lottery ticket. It is a training ground. It is a dojo. Treat it that way. Hobbies cost, businesses pay. Now, let's shift gears to the mindset that separates the amateurs from the pros. We need to have a very uncomfortable conversation about the difference between a hobby and a business. A lot of people say they have a side hustle, but what they actually have is a monetized hobby, and there is a massive difference. A hobby is something you do when you feel inspired. It's something you do when the mood strikes you, for fun, to relax. A business? A business is something you execute on consistently, whether you feel like it or not, especially when you don't feel like it. Here's the simplest way to look at it. Hobbies cost you money, businesses make you money. Let's look at YouTube. This is the perfect example. Everyone wants to be a YouTuber these days, and many people start a channel as a creative outlet. That is beautiful. If you want to make videos for your friends and family, go for it. But if your goal is monetization, if your goal is to quit your 9-to-5, you cannot treat it casually. Cash flow versus clips and clout. I see this mistake constantly. Someone starts a finance channel. They're talking about stocks, crypto, savings accounts. The audience loves it. Then suddenly they upload a vlog of their family trip to Disney World because they thought the footage was cute. Listen to me. The algorithm does not care if your footage is cute. And honestly, your subscribers don't either. They subscribed for finance tips, not your personal life. We live in an era obsessed with vanity metrics. We obsess over views, likes, and followers. But you cannot pay your mortgage with likes. You cannot buy groceries with clout. You have to be ruthless. You are not just expressing yourself, you are serving a market. Before you hit record, you have to ask, is this solving a problem? Is anyone actually searching for this? If the answer is no, put the camera away. Stop chasing attention and start chasing solvency.
The print-on-demand reality check. Now, I want to take this business mindset and apply it to one of the most popular side hustles in the world right now to show you exactly how this plays out in the real world. You've probably heard of it, print-on-demand. On paper, this sounds like the dream, right? You don't buy inventory, you don't rent a warehouse, you don't pack boxes, you just upload a design to a t-shirt or a mug, and when someone buys it, a third party prints it and ships it. You just collect the royalty. It sounds perfect, but because the barrier to entry is so low, the competition is absolutely suffocating. We are talking about millions of sellers fighting for the same eyeballs. And it's gotten worse. With the rise of artificial intelligence, people are now using AI generators to flood the market with thousands of designs a day. The market is saturated. Does that mean print on demand is dead? No, not at all. But the days of passive income where you do the bare minimum, those days are gone. To win now, you have to be strategic. And really, there are 3 ways to play this game. The grind of the marketplace. Option 1 is the path most beginners take. It's the marketplace grind. This is Redbubble, TeePublic, merch by Amazon. You are essentially playing on someone else's playground. You upload your art and you hope, you pray that their algorithm shows it to a customer. I have tested this extensively, and the math is brutal. You can upload hundreds of designs and maybe sell 3 stickers in a year. To make a full-time living here without your own audience, you are playing a volume game that will break you. Some experts say you need 10,000 live designs to make a decent income. 10,000. Think about the physical toll of researching, designing, tagging, and uploading 10,000 items. That isn't a business, that is a factory job. And the worst part? You are building on rented land. At any moment, Redbubble could change their fee structure, which they have done, or Amazon could ban your account for a trademark violation you didn't even know about. And poof, your income is 0. Overnight. The creator advantage. So what's the better way? That brings us to option 2, the creator economy approach. This is where you flip the script. You don't start with the product, you start with the audience. You build a following on TikTok or Instagram or a podcast by providing actual value. You entertain, you educate, you help people. Once you have people who know, like, and trust you, then you introduce the merch. Think about your favorite YouTuber. When they drop a hoodie, they aren't hoping a stranger searches for black hoodie on Amazon. No, they are selling to fans. The conversion rate is massive because they control the traffic. You aren't fighting a million other designers, you're just offering something cool to your community. It takes longer to build the audience, yes, but it is infinitely more secure.
the empire builder. But maybe you don't want to be a YouTuber. Maybe you don't want to dance on TikTok. That leaves the third path, the hardest path, but potentially the most lucrative path, the entrepreneurial brand builder. In this scenario, you stop side hustling and start building a legitimate asset. You don't use a marketplace. You buy your own domain name. You build your own Shopify store. You treat the printer solely as a fulfillment partner in the background. In this scenario, you are not a designer. You are a CEO. You own the customer experience. But here's the catch. Because you don't have a marketplace doing the work for you, and you don't have an audience, you have to buy your traffic. You have to master Facebook ads, Google ads, TikTok ads. You have to have a budget. You have to be willing to lose money in the beginning to buy data and learn what works. It is risky. It is stressful. Exit thinking from day one. But here is why the empire builder wins in the long run. It comes down to something called exit thinking. When you sell on Redbubble, you are just a user. You can't sell your account. But when you build a Shopify brand, you are building an asset with enterprise value. You own the customer data. You get their email address. You are building an email list, which is the most valuable asset in the digital world. You are building systems, documentation, a brand. This is something you could actually sell to an investor one day for a lump sum, for a life-changing amount of money. You need to start your side hustle with the end in mind. Are you just trying to make rent, or are you building something you can sell? The unsexy phase. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, I get it. Pick a lane, build a brand, own the data. But there is one final hurdle that stops 99% of people. It's the unsexy phase. This is the phase that happens about 3 weeks in. The initial excitement of starting the business has worn off. You've told your friends, you've set up the website, and now it's just work. You're posting content and getting 12 views. You're running ads and losing money. You're writing emails that nobody opens. It is boring, it is frustrating, and it is lonely. This is where everyone quits. They think because it's hard, they picked the wrong hustle. They think maybe I should try drop shipping instead, and they go back to the start of the circle. But you have to understand, the unsexy phase is not a sign that something is wrong. It is the barrier to entry. It is the price of admission. The people who win are not the ones with the most talent. They are the ones who can endure the boredom of consistency long enough for the momentum to kick in. The final verdict. So, let's wrap this up. Doing a side hustle the right way isn't about finding a magic button. It comes down to one word: intention. Are you looking for a quick buck to pay a bill, or are you looking to build a future? If you want to escape the rat race, you have to stop acting like a rat running in a wheel. Stop clicking on surveys. Stop dabbling in 10 different things. Stop obsessing over vanity metrics. Pick a model, whether it's content, service, or brand building, and treat it with professional, lethal dedication. Build skills, not just income. Build assets, not just hype. Don't just be busy. Be productive. Be strategic, and most importantly, treat your hustle like the serious business it has the potential to become. Now, go get to work. I'll see you in the next one.